Hi and welcome back to the Rideshare Buddy UK YouTube channel. It's Thursday and I wasn't going to do a video today, but I want to do a quick welcome video to all you new Swansea drivers. Uber officially went live in Swansea yesterday, and it's the first new city they brought onto their system in 7 years in the UK. So welcome to all you Swansea drivers. And all of you Swansea private hire drivers who are thinking about moving over to Uber or incorporating Uber into your sort of a workload, this is a little video about how it can work for you if you work it right. Because if you're not working as a private hire driver and you're thinking, ooh, Uber's in town, I'm going to make a lot of money, I'll go out, pack in my job, go and spend a couple of £100 on getting my private hire licence and make a fortune on Uber. It won't happen. Stay with your job. Uber is purely a part-time stroke, gig work stroke, backhaul type of app. You won't make full-time wages on Uber. Well, you may initially, because Uber don't mind paying out big money to drivers to bring them onto the system. So while Uber is in a startup mode in Swansea, it will be offering very good fares to drivers to attract them onto the system. And once they've got their fleet loaded up, the fares will come down, and come down quite a lot. But there are good points to Uber, well worth joining Uber, and this is going to tell you why I think you should look at Uber if you are a part-time taxi driver or full-time taxi driver who just wants to boost up their fares, work opportunities, and particularly airport transfer drivers. If you've got your own operating licence like I've got, I do a lot of airport transfers on subcontract, and I find Uber really good at providing me with fares out to customers or back from the airport, or going out to the airport rather, because I can't work in Bristol Airport because I'm a South Wales driver. So let's first of all look at who can work Uber and how big the South Wales region is. Oh yes, before we start that, I'm currently in Newport and I'm on my way to Swansea to pick up an airport transfer. So on your Uber app, as a driver, you have something called destinations. So you can set your destination and Uber will filter work out to that location. So I am on destination down to the Marriott Hotel, the Delta Marriott at Swansea Marina, and hopefully I'll get some jobs from my home in the centre of Newport down to Swansea to pick up my airport transfer going back to Bristol Airport. And then once I've done that, when I come back over the bridge, back into Wales, back into the South Wales region, I should hopefully get some pings on jobs to bring me back to Newport or back home. And we'll have a closer look at that later, where I'll run through what happened yesterday, where I had 2 airport transfers on, and how Uber helped just boost up my earnings a little bit. But let's go back to the region of what you're coming into when you join Uber in Swansea and the region that it covers. Right, so let's first look at the region of South Wales. Now, from the east, it starts off as soon as you come over the bridge, or about halfway over the bridge. Anything east of the bridge, and you geo-fenced out of accepting work. They won't ship you any work until you come back into Wales. So from the moment you get over the bridge onwards, you're back in South Wales region, and you can work from Chepstow, Caldicot, that sort of area. Now you can go as far as Swansea. We have done jobs. Well, Uber has done jobs previously in Swansea on a soft launch, I assume. But now it's official. Launched yesterday. So we can go Swansea, probably a little bit further on to the west, I assume, depending on the catchment area of Swansea. Now, northwise, you'll go up as far as Merthyr Tydfil. I've done jobs Merthyr Tydfil, Blackwood, a lot of jobs Blackwood, Ebbw Vale, out towards Brecon you can do, You can get lots of jobs in Abergavenny during the summer because it's a big wedding area. So you'll see a lot of jobs over in Abergavenny region. So it's a big chunk of South Wales, from sort of Chepstow, the bridge, down to Swansea and beyond, and up as far as north as Merthyr Tydfil and that sort of area, up from Brecon Beacons to Brecon. So that's your region that you'll be able to work as a Swansea driver. Now, South Wales region used to only have Cardiff plated and badged drivers or Newport badged and plated drivers, and we could work anywhere within that region. Now, obviously, that Uber has a Swansea operator's licence, you Swansea drivers can now come and work that big region. And it is a big region, and it does get quite busy in the summer with tourists, obviously being in Wales. Now, you'll probably do a lot more sort of tourist and student type of work, but the airport work I do from Swansea, I do quite a lot of work from Swansea, shows me that you've also got quite good commercial and international trade down Swansea, coming back to Bristol Airport a lot, and I've done occasions down to Heathrow Airport. So if you, as a Swansea driver, pick up an airport transfer from Swansea to Bristol Airport, you can take them out to Bristol Airport. You won't get any Uber work back until you come over the bridge into Wales, but you could easily get jobs from Mega or Newport down to Cardiff, down to not Swansea, but Barry, we do a lot of work too, Penarth. So you can get a big chunk of that return journey paid for if you time it right and if you drop lucky on a job. Especially jobs coming out of places like the Celtic Manor Resort. They go to Cardiff a lot, so you could get a good chunk, £12-15 extra earnings just by coming back and filling up that dead time. So that's how I use Uber. I have used Uber full time. It's okay if you work it right, work the hours right, and sort of watch your rates. You can earn a reasonable amount of money. I make about £15 an hour after expenses working Uber. Not quite as much as you would do with a local company, but I do like the flexibility because you just log on, log off whenever you want. So if you want a day off, you just take a day off. Nobody's going to be chasing you. If you want to finish at 9 o'clock, on a Saturday night when it's all kicking off, you can just log off and go Saturday night. You haven't got your office chasing you to stay out longer. The one thing I did try Vezu when I first got back into taxi driving. I mean, I'm semi-retired now, 62. So I'll just come out, do 30 hours a week, if that. And I'm very happy with the earnings. I do a lot of airport transfer because I've got my own operator's licence. So I do subcontract work. But Uber really does fit around that very, very nicely. So if you're looking for flexibility, Uber is great. It won't pay you a full-time wage. You will get extra payments in Swansea in the start-up period, but once they've got the fleet together, those payments will start back down to normal. So now, the only company I know of that allows Wolverhampton cars onto their fleet in South Wales is Vezu. Uber doesn't, so you won't be having to worry about being inundated with Wolverhampton plated drivers or any other plated drivers. The only plated and badged drivers in South Wales is Cardiff, Newport, and now Swansea. So those are the three people or councils that will be running on the Uber platform around here. You won't get anybody else. Now, there is definitely a pent-up demand for Uber in Swansea. It's made the papers, local newspapers, local rags, and Uber has said that currently, even before launch, they were getting 4,000 app applications every week for jobs, which they weren't able to cover. They did do a little bit of covering, but not much. I've taken jobs out of Swansea back to Neath when I've dropped off at Swansea from the airport. So I've dropped off at the airport down to Swansea, sat around, got jobs going back to Neath, got one out to Porthcawl, So it does help me filling that dead mileage on the way back. And if I make an extra 20, 30, 40 pound, perfect. So we'll have a look at an example of that now. No, I've just got a job down to Cardiff. I've got my destinations onto Swansea, and I've just had a Cardiff come through from the railway station. So I'll do that, and then we'll get back to the chat as I work my way down to Swansea for this 2 o'clock pickup at the Marriott Hotel. Well, that was a handy one. £14 from Newport railway station down to Cardiff Gate Business Park while on the motorway, and I've just accepted another quick one for £9.20, picking up just down the road at Church Road down into central Cardiff. And at that stage I think I'll probably call it a quick day and just head back off to Swansea to make sure I get there on time. And of course, now that Uber Swansea has launched, if I do get down to Swansea early, it does mean I'm about to do a little bit of work around Swansea until it's time to pick up my passengers. So it's going to work out really quite well. And if you're a Swansea driver, of course, if you're picking up at Cardiff Airport to take back to Swansea, if you get to Cardiff Airport, it's not a lot of work around there, but there's quite a bit of work in Barry, which is just up the road. So if you turn up to Cardiff an hour early, you could get a couple of local Barry jobs in, just to boost up your earnings. It's a big area, South Wales region, for Uber, and it's a good thing to be on. Right, so that was a handy couple of trips, and this is how you work Uber. I've got £25, well, just over £25 now on the clock, just on my way to Swansea. So that's covered my fuel for the day. It's covered my £6 drop-off fee at Bristol Airport, and it's also left me with a bit of money for a bit of a refreshment break if needed. So I'm going to head off to Swansea directly now, unless something big comes in. I'm in Whitchurch in Cardiff, about 1.5 miles away from the M4, so we'll head straight up to the M4 and head down to Swansea. One of the things you've got to be careful of in Cardiff is that once you're in Cardiff, it's very hard to get out because the Uber app keeps wanting to give you jobs, because Cardiff is obviously capital city and very busy. But yeah, as I was saying, this is not a full-time job. You probably could, if you wanted to work 60 hours a week, just about bring in enough money to pay your bills. But what you've got to realise is that next month minimum wage goes up £1 an hour to £11.44, and that's very hard to do on Uber. I do £15 an hour because I only do a 6-hour shift, and I pick the 6 hours that's busiest in the day. So from about 2 in the afternoon through till about 8 o'clock at night. After 8 o'clock at night, it starts to die down, and then it doesn't really pick up till after 11, and you might only get an hour or two. Even on a Friday night, Saturday night, it's not that busy. So I pick the 6 busiest hours, and I can earn good money. If I had to work a full working week, my hours would include times of day where there's very little work, and my earnings per hour would drop substantially. Now, as an Uber driver, you've got to watch what Uber will say, because they're trying to promote you and get you onto their platform, and they'll say, most of our, or all of our Uber drivers earn at least £20 an hour, £25 an hour, which is true, but that's before your expenses. You've got to take your expenses off that. And when Uber says £25 an hour, they're only talking about drive time when you're on a job. So that's from the moment you accept a job to the moment you drop off. They don't include any wait time or hanging around time or time in between jobs. So that's how they can come out and say all our drivers are earning £25 an hour or more, £30 an hour. We take off your expenses, include your waiting around time in between jobs. It's nowhere near that. So you need to take that into account. if you work it right, Uber is a great little number. I would really encourage you to sign up. Use the link below, and I'll get a little bit of a bonus because you've used my link to sign up and join Uber in Swansea. Also, if you're in Swansea and joining up, come and subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with what's going on, and see a few tips and helps and how I work the Uber system to try and make a reasonable amount of money as a part-time semi-retired person, private hire driver. I know a lot of drivers in Cardiff and a lot of drivers in Newport will multi-app, so if you're with a local company as well and they allow you to multi-app out to Uber, then do that, and then you can work both systems, and that can really help boost up your earnings. So that's another good way of working with Uber as well. Of course, the big question that all Uber drivers or all private hire drivers will be asking is, what sort of passengers do you get with Uber? And generally, they're really quite good passengers. I've been doing this now for 8 months with Uber part-time, and I've had one person be sick in the car, and Uber paid me £85 for a clean-up fee. Just took a couple of photographs, sent them off to the Uber, and they paid the £85 clean-up. So I've had that. I've had a couple of issues with women, drunk women or out on drugs. I've had a couple of issues with that, but I've had no. Well, you're not going to get robbed because everything's paid for in advance. So generally, it's quite good, clean work. Far better than a local cab company where you're dealing with cash people. You tend not to get the drunks. Not too many drunks. One issue you have to watch out for is drug runs. So as soon as you get a drug run, mark it down, mark it as a 1, go into the app and block the rider, because you don't want to get involved in that sort of work at all, really. But apart from that, good clean work. Predominantly students. You get a lot of students, especially in Swansea with the university. You get a lot of international people, lots of business people who use taxis a lot. In Newport, we don't do quite so many just normal local people. They tend to quite like staying with cash, so you don't get too many older people. Lots of young people who are just so used to using apps now. Yeah, good clean work. Probably not the best of paying work. One of the things we have a lot of in Newport are care workers going between customers. They do like it, nursing staff, they do it as well, because nurses get a discount with Uber. Care workers will often have Uber One, which is for riders who use Uber a lot. They pay, I think it's about £6 a month, £7 a month, and they get 10 or 20% off the cost of a taxi. So you'll get quite a lot of those people. Generally good quality, no problems at all with them. I've never had a real issue, too much of an issue. It's all paid for the cash. You can cash out up to 5 times a day if you're desperate for money. I used to cash out when I used to have a lot of Uber before I started doing airports. I used to cash out on a Thursday and then let the normal cash out on a Monday. If you just run the normal week, it'll come into your bank on a Wednesday morning. No problems. I used to cash out on a Thursday because I used to have up to £1,000 in credit on, well, over £1,000 sometimes in credit for the week on Uber, and you can be suspended at any time for no reason if a passenger makes something up, and then you've lost that money. All that money will hang around for months while they investigate. So I always try to, once hit sort of £500 on a Thursday, Monday to Thursday, I'd cash out. It costs 50 pence to cash out, and then the weekend will just go through as a free credit to the bank on the Wednesday. So yeah, you can let your amounts build up over the week and just transfer to your bank account on a Wednesday without it costing you, or you can pay 50p a time and cash out every day if you wanted. So that's really handy, helps with the cash flow if you've got any big bills. I've got no issues with it. I don't miss not doing cash work. I have no issues not doing cash work. I prefer not to do cash work. Tips wise, you don't get so many tips. Tip payers tend to be cash payers. You don't do a lot of tips. A lot of them students don't tend to tip anyway. Business people tend not to tip because I'm using a business Uber account, and because business policy means no tipping. So don't expect a lot of tips. But overall, big thumbs up. So if you are in Swansea and you're thinking about whether or not to sign up with Uber, I would recommend it. Use the link below. It really does open up a whole lot of opportunities for you. It's a big region, South Wales is. And as I say, only Cardiff, Newport and Swansea plated badge and drivers, cars can come on the system. So yeah, go for it. Use the link below. Oh yes, I was going to talk to you about how I use it. For an example, yesterday I had an airport transfer. Where was it? I was picked up at Cardiff Bay, one of the hotels in Cardiff Bay, to go to Bristol Airport. Set my destination on the way. Got a trip down into Cardiff from Newport. Swung round, picked up at the airport, at the hotel. I had already £18 in the bank, so I had no dead mileage going out. Took passengers up to Bristol Airport, dropped them off. I had to run from Bristol Airport over to the bridge, pretty much empty, because you're in England and you're geo-fenced, so no work will come out to you, and you can't sign on to the Bristol Airport rank. That's only for English drivers. So you come over the bridge. I came over the bridge. I had to pick up in Mega at the T Mega Hotel into central Newport, so that brought me home. So that was another £16. So I had very little dead mileage, and I was going to call it quits at that stage. But in the afternoon, a last minute job came up for an airport. I had to pick up at Bristol Airport to come into Cardiff. So I went out about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I got a, because I live in central Newport, got a trip from the railway station out to Tesco's distribution centre at Avonmouth. He'd missed the staff buzz, so he needed to get there. So that was a good £25 job out to Tesco's at Avonmouth. Couldn't get any more work from there because I was in England, so I drove down to Bristol Airport, picked up a passenger, brought him back into Cardiff. Now what I could have done was waited around in Cardiff for a trip back to Newport, but I didn't. I just wanted to go home. So I had very little dead mileage. You know, Uber really does work really well at filling up those dead mileage slots. So if you are an airport driver, really do think about Uber and how it can sort of fill up those dead spots and fill up those dead mileage. It's not the best of paying rates. Certainly don't pay as much as local cars, but it does fill up time and it does fill up dead mileage. So as I say, go out, pick it up, do the work, and earn a bit of extra money. Use the link below, sign up. It's very easy to sign up. You just need your Swansea / Cardiff / Newport licence, your plate for your car, and your insurance, and that's pretty much it. Very quick. You can be on the platform within a couple of hours if all your documents are right. You could be earning this weekend. So that's it for today. Thanks. This is just a big welcome video to Swansea drivers to the Uber platform. Sign up, earn a bit of extra money. Sign up to the link below, it gives me a little bit of extra money. And subscribe to the channel and keep up with what's going on in the South Wales region of Uber. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share. And until next time, happy driving and keep that profit rolling in. Okay, well, just look at this. Just a quick ending. I've been in Swansea for about an hour now. I'm just at Tesco's having something to eat. And it's been like this all the time since I've been here today. It's been in surge. It does look very busy. There is a lot of demand for Uber. And well worth giving a go.